brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Morgan is in Minneapolis. Hi, Morgan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I have sort of a complicated situation. My husband and I are in the middle of a construction project that should be wrapping up here hopefully in the next few weeks.
Good.
But my question is, in the meantime, should we work the debt snowball or should we try to attack our credit card debt, which is at the end of our debt snowball, to improve our credit scores in the meantime, since we have to maintain good credit before we refinance?
You have a construction loan?
Yes.
You've not been pre-approved for your takeout loan?
No, not yet.
Why? How in the world did you get the construction loan without a pre-approved takeout? That's weird. Okay,
Well,
so you don't have
yeah.
your permanent mortgage arranged?
I mean, not formally.
Well, that would be not. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
What's causing that?
I don't know how they got their construction loan. Very few people will make a construction loan. I mean, what is your all's net worth? Morgan.
Morgan. I don't know the answer to that right offhand.
Okay. You don't have
I
any,
have my
but you don't have any
documents.
money because you have a bunch of credit card debt. How much credit card debt do you have?
Just about 20,000,
And
and
what's your,
most of that relates to our project.
yeah, I bet. And what's your household income?
Just under 100,000.
Okay. And what do you owe on the construction loan?
Slightly over 300.
Goodness. Other debt? Any other debt?
Yes, we have 20. Let's see, trying to think here. About 30,000 in student loans.
Okay.
Are you current with everything right now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. This week, go to Churchill Mortgage
Yes.
and arrange for your mortgage right now.
Okay.
Because this house of cards may fall in, and if it does, you're going to lose this house. And I want you to get your permanent mortgage in place before this crap falls apart. Okay, because you have gotten yourself into deep debt, and I'm really afraid for you right now. You took on an awfully big mortgage, and you overran the budget on the project, and you did not have a backdoor plan in place with your takeout mortgage, and so you're in a very tenuous situation. So the first thing you've got to do is immediately get a mortgage in place to take out, set up and approved to take out this construction loan. And then once it's approved, it won't be a problem as long as you do it in the next 30 days. You're going to be finished with the project, you said, in a couple of weeks, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you can get your UNO and get your appraisal done, and you guys can close, like by the end of the month or early next month and be done inside of 30 days here. You got to get your mortgage in place. Once that's done, then we just start working on the debt snowball with the student loan and the credit cards. Mm-hmm. But you're in a very tenuous place because if you stub your toe before you get approval on this permanent, and I'm worried about you getting approval, you got a really big mortgage based on your income. Mm-hmm. But if you can get approval, you don't want to stub your toe. You don't want to miss, these stinking student loans, they're due October 1st. Yeah. So you got to have something in place to pay that student loan payment October 1st, and you got to make sure all your credit cards are paid on time between now and then. So you guys need to lay out a detailed budget, not miss a stinking thing until you get this permanent in place. Once the permanent mortgage is in place, then we'll back up, breathe a little bit, and start attacking the rest of these debts. But you've left yourself very, very vulnerable here because if one little thing goes sideways, you don't pay a credit card on time, you're not going to get because you got a real tight permanent mortgage. Your ratios are questionable as it is.
Yeah.
And you got a mess, girl.
That is a mess.
Yeah. You guys completely jumped in the deep end and not swimming so good. So you got to really, really be careful with that. It's scary. So Jade, the thing you should always do, number one, you shouldn't be building a house if you got credit card debt. Number two, you should stay within budget so you don't run up credit cards to make the budget because you went over budget on your house because you didn't keep up with your dadgum numbers. I'm building a house right now. The builder just sent me the spreadsheet on what we've actually spent versus budget. Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty simple formula.
Yeah.
Here's what we budgeted. Here's what we've spent. We're under budget. We're over budget. Yeah. And you can keep track of that every stinking week with a builder if they've got their stuff together.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then you don't go over budget, and you don't pick stuff that doesn't fit, in the budget. So no, you can't have that carpet, and no, you can't have that tile, and no, that appliance isn't going in the kitchen. You don't have the budget. That's not what we're doing. Now, in Sharon's and I case, if we decide to break the budget because we see something we want to do, we can do that, but we're doing that amongst a bunch of information that gives us the ability to make that decision wisely.
What causes them to not take over that construction loan earlier?
You can't get a permanent mortgage on a house that doesn't have a UNO, use and occupancy permit. If the house isn't completed, they won't make a traditional mortgage. Oh,
so it's that they're over time and they're over, not just over budget, they're over time as well?
No, they have to finish. You can get the takeout mortgage approved subject to completion before you break ground, before you even start the house. Okay, and that's what should have happened. But since they didn't do that, they can't get a mortgage in place and pay off the construction loan. So the mortgage won't be funded to pay off the construction loan until completion. But you can get it all approved and lined up, and then if something goes sideways, it doesn't matter, already approved. Okay, they don't revisit and reapprove the mortgage 6 times during the build. They approve it one time, give you a letter says you're approved, and at completion, we're going to fund the mortgage. That's simple. And but you can get in a real pinch in a situation like this because that bank is going to want their money when the house is completed.
Yeah,
and you don't have a permanent, you're in foreclosure
instantly.
They're going to want their money.
Shoot.
And so you got to get a permanent, and you got to get it up for sale, one of the two. And boy, that'd be sad.